What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Chef G's Kitchen. Today on the menu, I got lasagna. I got the ingredients in the back ready to go. Start cooking. Alright, first thing we're going to do is get started on working with our ground beef. For this recipe, I'm using 85/15 ground beef. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is dice up an onion. Once your onions are fully diced, they should look something like this. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is drizzle some olive oil in a large skillet, and I'm going to turn the heat on to medium heat. For me, that's going to be a 6 out of 10. Alright, once your skillet has heated up with the olive oil, go ahead and add your diced onions. Go ahead and let that cook until the onions are translucent for about 3 to 4 minutes. To the onions, I'm going to add some sofrito. Now go ahead and mix that all in. Alright, once everything has been sauteing for about 2 or 3 minutes, go ahead and make a circle in the middle. Now, I'm going to add my ground beef. I'm using 2 pounds. Alright, now that the meat is in the skillet, let's go ahead and add our seasonings. Alright, now go ahead and mix that all in. Alright, now to the ground beef, I'm going to add 1 cup of pasta sauce. I'm using the Prego bread. And go ahead and mix that all in. Alright, once your meat has finished cooking, go ahead and turn the burner off and push your meat to the side and let it cool. Alright, now that our ground beef is finished, let's get started on our bechamel sauce. Alright, so I'm not a fan of ricotta cheese, so a good substitute for ricotta cheese would either be cottage cheese or a white bechamel sauce. For this recipe, I'm going to make a Parmesan bechamel sauce to replace the ricotta cheese. This is how you do it. Alright, once your bechamel sauce is finished, it should look something like this. Alright, now that the ground beef and the cheese sauce are finished, let's go ahead and start preparing the lasagna. First thing we're going to do is preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Alright, so for this recipe, we're using no boil lasagna noodles, so we can just put it directly in the oven. This is my first time using these type of noodles, so let's give it a shot. Alright, go ahead and repeat those steps until you layer it to the top. Alright, so this is going to go in the 375 degree oven for 30 minutes with the aluminum foil on. The last 10 minutes, aluminum foil off.